ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the Lion Den.
Good to be here, man.
We got the legendary Joe Booe with us tonight.
Don't know about legendary, but definitely got Joe Booe in the house.
John, are you there?
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of.
So
Somehow
we'll be-
John keeps getting muted. Oh, he's having internet issues.
Yeah.
We good to go here, Chris?
Yes, we're already started. I think you're here now.
Check, check, 1, 2.
There he is.
Yep,
Testing,
we got
testing.
you.
All right. My apologies if I glitch in and out. We're doing our best on the system here. We're going to be playing a whole lot of Joe Booe music tonight, covering a few of his projects. Proud to have him. Joe, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself, where you're from?
I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. Been a singer for about 40 years, and currently have 5 active bands. But I probably played in the running joke is about 17,241.
I believe it.
Yeah,
Right on.
I've got 10 active pages that I manage from a few previous bands and then the ones that I'm currently running. And I've also done a handful of collaborations, and I've got another new band that's now being added to the stable. So I'm excited to introduce them soon too.
Yeah, is that the band that you posted
Excellent.
on Facebook?
Yeah, Oki. It's 2 Nigerian nationals who now live in the UK, and
Wow.
they've been playing hard rock and metal for a long time, and they're really, really exceptional musicians and great at production. They reached out to me about 8 months ago. Charles from His Theory had referred me to them because they said they were looking for somebody that kind of fit my bill. And so we've been working on the initial single, and they're completing it now. They're finishing up the mix and master, and I'm going to be working on filming this weekend for a music video for it. And I'm pretty excited about it. These guys worked with the band Third Lead, if you guys are familiar with them. They had a couple songs out a while ago, and I actually ran across them last year and posted about them on my Rain of Fire page and wanted to share them with everybody. So they were already familiar with who I was, and so it was a great start, and it's been a great working relationship. I really like these guys. They're outstanding.
That's awesome. I think I heard about Third Lead through you, and they're a really good band.
Right. They're really good. And I think the band is now defunct, but these were the 2 guys that were the primary players in Third Lead. And they're kind of moving into a little bit more hard rock and heavy metal direction. And that's where I came in.
Good to hear that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we've got the single's called Hole Inside Your Heart. And it's an interesting story. They sent me what was an incomplete song. It was just 4 pieces, 4 parts to a song. It was about a minute long and a little over a minute. And I asked them, I said, what do you guys want me to do with it? Because it's not a completed song. Do you want me to design the orchestration? Do you want me just to write vocal pieces to each individual part and see how they can be married together? And they said, you do with it what you want to do with it and what you think would work best in terms of orchestration and creating a song. So I sent them back ideas, and they loved it, and so they pieced it together into a complete song. It's a little over a 5-minute song now, and I think you guys are really going to like it. It's got a little bit of Dream Theater flair to it, meets Miles Kennedy and Alter Bridge kind of flavor. So it's a modern edged hard rock song with a little bit of classic rock kind of feel to it and some nice progressive flair to it.
Oh, you sold me on it.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
It was some of the most challenging vocal tracks I'd ever worked on, but in the end, I mean, I really am pleased with the end result. Thanks, Kimmy.
Right on.
Thanks, Kimmy.
Right on. Well, Chris, shall we get right into one of the tunes? What's the first one we got on the hit parade here?
Oh, I was leaving it to Joe. Whatever he wants to play, we'll get going.
Well, let's go with something by Voodoo Mirage. Voodoo Mirage has a new song that's coming soon. Randy's going into the studio this weekend, and we have a new single called "Break These Chains," and it's a badass song. The first 4 songs Randy and I did were songs that he had originally written for Saint Tragedy. He was the guitarist for Saint Tragedy, and I think you're familiar with them, Chris, because they're up your way.
Yes.
And so Randy exited the band. He took the pieces with him and he sent them to me. Randy and I have known each other for a long time, for probably 25 years. We played in a band called Monkey Fist 25 years ago. And I kept trying to get Randy on board to resurrect, Monkey Fist. I wanted to redo those songs and record them. And so he sent me these 4 pieces and said, here, write to him whatever you want. So those were the 4 songs that we came up with. So Break These Chains will be the first brand new one that hadn't been kind of involved in a previous project. And he's going to the studio to work on another 5 songs this weekend. So we've got potentially 6 new songs slated. So we'll be working on those later this year. But Break These Chains will be out probably within the next 3 weeks.
That's
So
awesome.
any Voodoo Mirage song you want to play, Chris? I love them all.
That's my problem. I love them all too. Let's see. How about we go with Demons?
Awesome. Yes, I love that song.
Right on. Demons by Voodoo Mirage.
Daylight fades and there's no man there sign or where the long dark shadows of emptiness that fill the air. Is there no hope of ever getting away? Of ever getting away? Of ever getting away? Because it won't be.
Hell yeah.
A little something about addiction and overcoming addiction, man.
Yeah. Yep. Everybody knows someone that's been struggling with it or has struggled with it in the past.
Absolutely. Yeah, when I did the
man.
video, Randy and I talked about it, and we both agreed we really wanted the ending to kind of have a little bit brighter side to it.
Yeah.
So, the entirety of the video is black and white with blue overtones, and it goes to color in the end with recovery.
Excellent. Yeah, anybody struggling with that, go out. Please try and seek some help or
Seek help.
do what you can to reach out.
Yeah.
We joke around a lot about this stuff, and it is rock and roll. Everyone knows this, but if you're
It's
off
the
the
stark
rails,
reality.
do try and reach out. Yeah.
It is the stark reality of it. And any of us that have walked this path long enough, we've had friends that we've lost. We've had friends who have struggled with it throughout their entire career, throughout their entire lives. So we're all in this together. So reach out.
That's right. An excellent video, sir.
Thank you,
Loved it.
man. Thank you.
Great lead playing, and of course your voice does rock. We saw some comments up there. Thank you everyone in the chat for coming. Saw Mike from Mech and
Mike, thank you, man. Thank you, Kimmy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, Randy's a badass, man.
Being here.
Randy is a badass guitarist. I love working with him. He's got so much talent, and he does so many flavorful things with the guitar. It's really easy for me to write. The first song, Realign, and Realign was the first one released, and then Demons was second. Those two, he had names assigned to them. So I said, look, I don't want to change the names, and I don't want to deviate from what the name association was. So I wrote really kind of all around. I wrote the lyrics all around those names. The fourth song released was about a buddy of his who passed away. He was his old singer who died about 15 years ago. That song was lyrically, it had to be built around his buddy. That's left in the middle, and that's what that one's all about too.
It pays to be versatile, Joe. I'm sure. It sounds like you're good at arrangement and know what's important in doing that.
It's a love affair, man, and I know you know the same thing. You work on music for long enough, and you really kind of figure out the tools of the trade, and for some of us too. I mean, I can't imagine not having it in my life. I've been doing it since I was a teenager, and I turned 60 in a month and a half. So for 40 years, I've been doing it, 40 plus. And there's no way I would ever do anything else. I'll do it until I'm dead.
Fucking A, for sure. I don't know what the 80-year-old version of all of us is going to look like, but I'm sure we'll be out there.
Right? You know it, man. We'll be hiding behind AI versions of ourselves, man.
Yeah. Deidre Patrick piped up and gave us a compliment, and thanks for coming, Deidre. We'll show eventually. Promise.
Deidre
Had her on last night, I believe, Dixter.
Deidre will be joining us on February 13th.
Oh, awesome.
Next. Yeah.
She's someone I'm
looking
dying to collaborate with. At some point, Deidre and I are going to do a song together. I love her voice.
Yeah, that's good. That's going to be a great one, too. Absolutely.
Oh, the two voices together would be awesome.
I would love to work with her. She's got such a killer voice.
Yeah, she does.
Great power. Yeah.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
So speaking of voices, can you tell us a little bit about your vocal training, if any?
I have not.
Self-taught? Did you have it?
I am self-taught. Back in 2003, I had a vocal cord injury. Great. That's awesome, Deidre. I love it. In 2003, I ended up tearing my vocal cord, one of my vocal cords in California. I was with the band 7 months, and I'd done a show on a Friday night, went in the studio to record with another band all day Saturday, and then did another show Saturday night. And I was one of those dummies who thought, "Oh, my voice is bulletproof." And went to hit a high note,
right?
And I felt a pop, and I knew something was wrong. So I'd worked with 2 vocal coaches for about 6 months to try and get my voice back. And I didn't get it back fast enough. The guys from 7 months were impatient, and they wanted to work on the sophomore album. So they said, well, why don't we find another singer in the interim? And if you get your voice back, then you got your job. And I said, fuck you guys, man. If you can't wait around for me, then I'm done. Fuck you. I'm out. So I ended up bailing. I left California because I didn't want to stay there anyway. And the only reason I stayed there was for these guys. And they ended up doing the exact same thing to the next singer, ended up damaging his voice. And he lives in Florida now too. But I left. I didn't sing for about about 7 years. And an old drummer of mine who lives here in Florida, I moved to Florida with Sea Dog, who's the other side of the dog. He's the dog, and Joe Booe and the dog. And this other guy, Chris DeWitt. We all moved down to the Keys, and pretty quickly I realized that wasn't the place for me. So that's when I moved to Cali, and then left Cali, came back here. So my buddy Chris, he's a drummer. He moved up here. He and his wife, they had one kid and they had another on the way. They didn't want to raise their kids in the Keys, so they moved up here. So Chris and I started just a cover band. So he got me back in. He got me off the sidelines. So I started singing again in 2010 till 2012, and in 2017, the guys from Strychnine, that's my old band from Chicago, we played together for about 10 years. We decided to re-record some old songs, and so that got me back involved in writing and recording. And when that fell apart, the drummer and I started Rain of Fire. And I got in touch with an old guitarist friend of mine, Rob Chrisman. He and I had played together in a band called Geneva about 35 years ago. And Rob is just a ripper. I know you guys have heard, Rain of Fire songs. He's just a fucking ripper on guitar. But he does everything. He does all the orchestration. So he writes the songs out musically to a click track and to a drum track initially, and then he sends it to us. I write all the lyrics and melodies. I do all the background vocals. Pete does his drums. Pete also does all our sound engineering. And Jim Davidge is our bass player. He plays bass. He's also our IT guy, so he sets up the website. He's done all of our IT stuff. So all of us have our roles, and then I do all of our music videos. So yeah, roping those guys together was a great opportunity, and that's how I ended up meeting Chris. He had just started the whole Dukester operation a few months prior to me starting to promote Rain of Fire, and so I immediately jumped on board with getting into Chris's playlist as often as I could. And then Voodoo Mirage happened. Joe Booe and the Dog was already in the works, and ended up doing a handful of other things too.
Excellent. Only DIY all the way there, right?
Yeah.
Or a lot of us are doing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It beats paying a fortune to have it done,
Yeah, it does. And if you want it done this way, you do it this way. If you want it done that way, you do it that way. It's
right, exactly. Total.
I've learned that.
Creativity, artist creativity, man.
Yeah. How about Chris had Bruce Dickinson? I'll tell you myself, I hear a lot of Tate in there.
Well, thanks, man. Those are my two favorite two heroes. Dickinson and Tate are my guys.
Yeah. What are some of the influences that you definitely say were in there?
Yeah, those guys for sure. Ronnie James Dio, and I especially love Ronnie James Dio's writing. And I loved his relationship with Richie Blackmore, and then another Richie Blackmore vocalist, Joe Lynn Turner. So those guys I love all those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, incredible vocalists, writers. But I love them all. Sammy Hagar,
Right on.
Ted Nugent,
Right on.
So all the old school classic guys. I used to do a lot of Robin Trower back in the day. So you name it. When I was a kid, my cousin was a drummer. So I'm 5-6 years old, and I'm getting in the way while they're rehearsing in the basement. And that was kind of how I got hooked. I'm 6 years old, and I'm listening to Blue Oyster Cult and Black Sabbath and all the shit from like 69, 70, 71, Jimi Hendrix. So my cousin gave me my first mic. That's how I ended up singing. So at 13, he gave me a microphone. It was actually a drum mic. And it was a piece of shit, but I didn't care, man. I just wanted to. I was doing Ozzy Osbourne shit in a shit drum mic. I didn't care.
Yeah, the kids metal bands. I've seen a couple of my friends back in my hometown watch kid do all this, and he's got his own band going up around Chris's way, and so it's always nice to watch that second take them out enough to make a guy. So Joe, what will be the next?
It was all broken up.
Pretty bad, John.
Sorry about doing the max thing. What would be the next track?
If you guys want to bust out some Rain of Fire, maybe we can do a Hangman.
Yeah, sounds good.
That's I love the song, and it's one of the least played of the Rain of Fire collection of songs. It's a great video, and it's just a badass song. And actually, Rob and I wrote it about 35 years ago.
Oh, nice. Right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, let's see. The music video, right?
Yes, there's a lyric video, but there's also a music video.
Okay, good. So I'm gonna make sure I find the right one.
Yep.
Okay, I got it.
Awesome.
We're good.
Rain
to
of
go.
fire.
Or Triangle Street in high noon heat. A stranger rides from the horizon. Wind is high, weeds on roll by. The haze is forever in my eyes. Somewhere in the distance is a silhouette, or possibly just a light. My destiny, I haven't reached it yet, but I'm making sure it's never out of sight. Yeah, I'm making sure it's never out of sight. Making sure out of sight. 'Cause I'm wanted dead or alive. The hangman's waiting. Ain't no way to survive when the hangman's waiting. When the bullets fly, good and bad men die. The hangman creates a shifting sands of a wasted land. My strength has failed, or so it seems. Standing face to face in this desolate place, with a man in black who plays my dreams. Those squinting eyes, they seem to hypnotize, as smoke wagons run from their skins. Then hammers strike just like a railroad spike. It's over before it begins. It's over before it begins. It's over. It begins. 'Cause I'm wanted dead or alive. The hangman's waiting. Ain't no way to survive when the hangman's around the table. Guns are drawn, all hope is gone. None can hide the many who are able. Bleeding on the ground, so many good men die. Impossibly, it was there. But the outlaw rides to where the hangman resides. At the end of the road before too late. Hanging at the end of the road before too late. The end of the road too late. 'Cause I'm only dead or alive. The hangman's waiting. No way to survive. And the hangman's waiting. So you better load up your six guns. And you better mount up your stallion. 'Cause you're a killer on the road. Load up, load up, load up, load up your six guns. When you hang a man, you better look at him. Get a rope.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
love
that was fantastic.
Thanks, man. I love doing that video. That video was great. The song was awesome, and then the video was right there on par with it. It was great.
That rope sound effect at the end is very haunting. That's
Isn't
great,
it,
man.
Yeah, my drummer Pete
Yeah.
he's become very adept at foleying. So anything we want to throw into a song, he'll find a great sound effect for it. And he's done the
Yeah,
same
it
thing
was
for Call of Vikings
excellent.
and some of our other stuff. So
Yeah, excellent job with the video and great song.
man.
Fantastic, man.
yeah, Rob and I wrote that. We wrote it in a different iteration about 35 years ago, and so we modernized it. I changed the chorus completely. But the basic premise of the song and what Rob was playing was written 35 years ago. And then the song we did voices right after Hangman, and that was also written about 35 years ago. He was quite a prodigy at about 17, 18 years old. He wrote voices at 18, the entire musical piece, all the guitar piece at 18 years old, and it still holds true today. So that was our third
Excellent.
song to be released, and it was fucking badass, man.
Yeah. Brian Mullen just piped up and said, he heard that was actually you hanging from the tree. Is that true?
It's true. I was. Well, I do all the video work, so I filmed everything.
Damn.
I filmed myself in Arizona. Tracy and I were on vacation in Sedona, and I looked around like, holy fuck, this is the perfect setting for Hangman, because it was right
Yeah.
when we were working on it. So I filmed some stuff in Arizona, and then I filmed myself
Right on.
in Florida hanging from the tree. So good call, Brian. I think I
Right
did tell
on.
Brian that a long time ago.
Yeah, I've been up there. I lived in Phoenix for a number of years. So yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful there, man.
Oh yeah. If you love the desert, that's a nice place to be.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Great hiking.
Fuck yeah. That was a nice double neck that he was playing there too. I had my eye on that.
Yeah, man. Like I said, Rob is a badass. He probably practices about 3 hours a night. And he's vocal parts today. No, there you are. I lost you for a second there. Yeah, the new song we're working on. It's called "The Phoenix and the Sacrifice," and it's a little over 8 minutes long, about 8 minutes and 20 seconds long. When Rob and I, when we first started
Epic.
the band, Rob said to me, he's like, "Look, I want to do something different. I don't want this just to be a regular album. Let's do a concept album." And he asked me if I had any ideas, and I said, "Yeah, I do." And so the entire concept is built around the first song. It's about a soldier who dies in war, Rain of Fire, And in the video, it's kind of a parallel between the movie Reign of Fire, dragons, and modern warfare. So our protagonist, he gets wounded in the very first song in Reign of Fire, and he's unconscious, trapped somewhere between madness and death. And he doesn't know if he's going to die, doesn't know if he's going to live. And he's experiencing past lives and deaths. So each song is a past life and death. So we have not determined whether or not he's going to live or die or go insane. So I'm leaving that to the last piece that Rob sends me. So the most recent one, it's set in Celtic England, and he's about to be sacrificed for the greater good, for crops and for, a good season. And he's been promised that he will be the phoenix and rise again. So the premise of the lyrics are about that, this new life experience and death experience. And Hangman, he was in the Wild West. Desert Caravan, he's in the desert, in the 7th century, traveling across, desert caravan. And the realization that the light and heat that he feels of the desert is actually his eternal flame, the flame of his soul. So it's all pretty deep and pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that's deep, man. That's great. Yeah. Great ideas too. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Look forward to hearing more of them. Yeah. Fucking A. Right on.
I love those concept albums. Well, I'm a progressive fan, so Queensryche, Dream Theater, they always do those good concepts. And
oh yeah, Mindcrime was the shit, wasn't it? Yeah. Hell yeah.
Probably be out. What's that? You guys buffered. I lost you. What happened?
Oh, I was saying I love concept albums, so I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. I'm excited to have the whole thing put together, because what we're going to do is, I do all the music videos for him too. So we'll probably do a CD DVD set. You know how it is today, man. Nobody buys CDs. Everybody does downloads or they listen to stream music. But we want to do this as a really cool package. So all the music videos will be included in DVD, and then some storyline in between. We'll do some behind the scenes. And as we complete it, Rob is going to do some vignettes that connect each of the songs and some interludes. We have one interlude it's already finished, and I'm probably going to do some spoken word and some vocals to it that'll connect the storyline and really kind of help to explain from start to finish what's going on with the protagonist. So this next song will give us 7. We have the interlude that's 8, and we have at least one more song that we'll include in the album. Since all these are really long songs, it may just be the 9. And then Rob will do some musical vignettes between, so it'll connect the entire thing.
Yeah, excellent. It'd be nice to see DVDs kind of make a comeback as a retro thing, possibly at this point, like vinyl's doing. Right. Yeah. But attention spans,
especially with today's multimedia approach to music, I think a lot of bands have either music video or they have behind the scenes kind of stuff. So without putting that out, I think they're really missing the mark a little bit, because so many people want to know where'd the song come from? How's it all connected? And so I think for a lot of people, they're really digging into this kind of shit.
Yep. The fans like to have the stuff to look at and check out the makings of it. Yeah. And short attention span theater these days.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I'm working currently on an album, and debuted with an EP, but it had a 10 song after that. And it's great putting out the singles, but it's nice to be able to stick in a whole album and, get into it and see where it goes as well. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I'm kind of working on some other things, like Tom McElman and I probably have about a 10 song album in the works as well. He and I started as Shadow Band, and that kind of morphed into something that really it was originally supposed to just be a collaboration. It was just going to be a couple songs, but Tom and I have way too much music chemistry to just leave it at a couple songs. So after we did Wicked Woman, then he and I worked exclusively, just he and I, on Give Me the Rain. And then he just kept sending me stuff, and I'm like, oh dude, I gotta write to this. I gotta write to this. So we probably have another 6 or 7 songs that are at varying stages of completion. So very excited about that too, because we'll probably have a 10 song album by the end of the summer, maybe. And he's also working, Tom's working on a solo instrumental only album too, that he wants to get done by the end of the year. Busy
guy, like the rest of us, right?
Yeah, right. We live this, right?
Yeah, we do. Let's hear another one. Let's see another one.
All
What
right.
else
Since
did
well,
we
since we're
just-
just talking Boo McElman, how about Paper Lion by Boo McElman?
That sounds great. Give Chris a moment to get that.
Yeah, Tom actually started this one as it was his own song. He was going to do it by himself, and he said, "Hey, I want you to hear something I'm working on." He shot it to me. I was like, "Dude, that's fucking awesome." He said, "Yeah, I'm still trying to get my head around how I'm gonna sing it." And I said, "Do you mind if I take a crack at it?" So I sent him. He sent me the verses. He had a verse written, so I sent him a version of just a verse, and he sent me back his version of the verse. And he said, "No, you know what? I like yours better. We're going with you." So he gave me the song. He gave me the song. It was
Right on.
supposed to just be a Tom McElman song. So I was greatly appreciative of the opportunity because I mean he writes some great stuff too. So it's a really cool song. It's about all those keyboard warriors who think they're tough guys, behind their computer screen.
All kinds of names for them. And
Yeah,
I got to
right.
say, this is a first for us on Lion Den Roars. I believe this is the first time we played a song about a lion on Lion Den Roars. So hell
There
yeah.
you go, man. Right on.
Fuck
Perfectly
yeah.
fitting.
Thank you, Joe. Fuck yeah. You got a handle on it, Chris? Do you see it? There's.
I am ready to go.
Let's rock and roll, folks. Thanks everybody for being in the chat.
Absolutely.
Behind a pseudonym while you wield a paper sword. You criticize, prophesize, take me back to 55. Don't ever thought of your own, a small version of a bigger clone. Say your thing, ding-a-ling, a megaphone for the sickening. Firewall where no one can see who you are. Try to intimidate, humiliate. Truth is all you do is obfuscate. A bully without any soul. In the digital realm you control. You think you're strong, never wrong. Weak and afraid you are all alone.
Yeah, all those paper lions, man. All think they're badasses.
We probably all know at least one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Lurking.
Just come to mind. Yeah, right. Judging.
Yeah.
Reprimanding from behind their keyboard.
Yeah. And another great message: stop the bullying, stop the hate. No
Right,
room for
right,
it.
right. Exactly, man. Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Kimmy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Deidre.
Lots of love. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, Tom's a badass. I love working with Tom. He's a great guitarist, and he's just one of those awesome human beings, man. So it's just a real pleasure and an honor to work with him. So I feel really, really lucky, really blessed because I've gotten to work with some of the great, really great musicians in this community. And there's so many of them. So it's,
Yeah.
you can't help but hit 20 of them swinging a stick in a room or, swinging a cat in a room. So there's so many incredible musicians in this community.
Deidre's asking who played bass on that.
It was Tom. Tom plays everything. Like so many, like Justin Hall, like so many people in the community. Tom plays all the instruments, and then there he is, my boy.
Yeah, speak of the devil.
And in fact, I was hoping we could get the next video would be the Dark Tower that he and I did, because Kimmy did that one, and it's a fucking awesome video.
Hell yeah!
So to touch on what Justin and I are doing, we just finished a song called "Hymn of the Ancients," and it's so badass. And we're working on 2 more, and I am so grateful to him letting me work on his music, because I remember the first time I heard it when I first got in the community. I was like, this guy's off the charts epic, man. Everything he does is like soundtrack to monster mega hit movie. And so he just the guy blows my mind. He has song after song after song. He's a machine. He just has so much that he's working on. And I've been really lucky. He's given me a couple of them to work on, and I couldn't be more grateful.
Hell yeah. I believe we can do that. Not a problem. Let's definitely watch and hear that one.
Yeah.
Give us a little excellent. Joe, real quick, give us a little backstory. I know this has a real interesting subject matter.
Yeah. Justin is really big into history. He's an avid, voracious reader. If you know him, he's got a real story, man. I mean, he's an incredible musician. He plays a lot of instruments, got a great history. And so this one was about the Stephen King series of the Dark Tower. And so I heard the music. And when I first heard the music, I was like, man, you don't need me on this, man. And but he gave it to me to work on, and it actually just came quickly. I think we put the song together musically or vocally within 3 weeks. So he sent it to me, and I started listening to it, and I had ideas. I sent them to him, and he was really supportive. He liked what I was doing, and we had it done pretty quickly. And it's a really cool song. And if you're familiar with the Dark Tower, I think it totally fits. And they're supposed to be they're resurrecting the movie. They're going to do another movie. And we've talked about it. I seriously think that he's got to submit it to him as a potential theme song, because it's that good.
Yeah, I agree. You heard it. Oh, yeah. Mr. King. Or his peeps.
Yeah, right.
Right on. Thank you for that. Yeah, let's do it.
The Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower.
You had it already. Where'd it go?
You gotta love technology.
Yeah. This is Joe Booe and Justin of Storm Kingdom.
Okay, I think I see what I did wrong. Of course, it's always me.
No worries.
There we go.
followed. Dark tower, death may take me there. Drawn to these strangers, talking in dangers. It's always in the air. I aim with my eye, I shoot with my hand, I kill with my heart. Dark tower, this is not the end. The story just began. Eternal attack of crimson and red, only to start once again. The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed. Dark tower,
Kimmy, great job.
Hell yeah.
Justin, much love, my boy Justin, man. He's fucking awesome. And I'm very excited for you guys to hear the stuff that we're working on.
Yeah, we are too, man. Hell yeah.
Been very
And
lucky.
granted-
Been able to work with some really cool, very talented people in collaborations. Like I've been able to work with Mike, Mechanic A. We did a cool song called "Let It Go." Steve Klatt and I just released a song earlier in the month, and we're working on another one now. Worked with Justin Liberty from Plains Desperate Symphony. So I've been very, very fortunate. Worked some just killer cats.
Excellent. Excellent. And granted, I'm a little biased, as you might imagine, but that was a Mama's Maiden video, and
Oh yeah,
an excellent one at that. So
yeah,
we're real happy and excited. She's going to be joining us on occasion and doing a little Mama's Maiden corner,
yeah.
showing off some of the artists that she's working with. So we're looking
Right on.
forward to that. Hell yeah.
Right on.
And if anybody needs a video, go talk to Mama.
Indeed.
If you haven't got one yet, get one.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
We should have the Fods give her a call, because we just finished a song that's going to be released on the 31st. I just
Sweet.
did a collaboration with the Fods, which will be very cool. It's kind of punky surf rock kind of thing, a little aggressive, a little angst. It's half Fods, half Joe Booe, so it's got. I think it sounds pretty cool.
Right on. That's also a nice time to talk maybe a little bit about the punk show of the year that's coming up. That you'll be finding Joe Booe, ourselves, Chris there
Right back.
with
We'll
all right.
all be there.
Chris is going to be there broadcasting live. Brian Millen in the chat right now will be there with his band and also helping to broadcast, I believe.
Awesome.
Joe, you're going to be there. Soup's going to be there.
I'll be there. You'll be there.
That's right. Yeah. Won't be our first live show, but one of our first live ones, and we're looking forward to that. Hell yeah.
It will be my first live one in probably about 13 years.
Right on. Hell yeah. And that's not a story that we're not hearing. I mean, there's a lot of bands that's coming back and getting out there and doing that. So if you have been under a rock and haven't heard anything about this is Punk in the Corn Festival in Davenport, Iowa in October 10th and 11th, I believe. It will be happening. Tim from EWL is throwing this whole motherfucker together, and
40 bands.
40 bands playing. That's right. There's going to be lots of fun, and it's a 2-day fest. So
not to be missed.
Not to be missed, that's for sure. Lots of punk bands, but all kinds of bands. There will be everything from country to some soul to a lot of great metal and a lot of fucking punk. So it is called Punk in the Corn after all.
Punk in the Corn after all. That's right.
Tim of EWL also has a great indie review show. Again, you must know about this, and if you haven't heard about it, please go check it out. It's on Friday nights. A lot of fun in the chat, and Tim makes it look easy. He goes all out every Friday. Always high energy show.
You know
and
it.
no holds barred, and it's excellent. You got to check that out. So
I'd be dragging for 2 days afterwards if I were Tim.
Oh man, I could not yell like that.
No.
On stage maybe,
like
but
that. Or dance like that.
Yeah, man.
He's
he lets it all go. He lets it all go.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the indie review show on Friday nights. Tim of EWL. Check out EWL's music. It's fantastic.
And if you have the means, by all means, be a subscriber. Sponsor the show.
Yes, sponsor the show.
And please jump on board the GoFundMe page for A Punk in the Corn. This is all being self-funded. This is an indie community operation, and everybody's banding together to make this thing happen. So be a part of it. Be a part of history, because this is going to be the opportunity for indie to finally kind of blow up into the entire industry's face. It's going to be an opportunity for all these 40 bands that are going to be there to get exposure, and it's going to be an opportunity for anybody to attend to be a part of history.
Hell yeah. If you happen to see any of the broadcasts or any of the fundraising, shows that are going to be talking about this or anything, just by showing up, you can help to fund it. So definitely get in on that.
Tickets are already available. So if you know you got it on the schedule, go ahead and buy your ticket now, or buy your tickets now in plural.
Yep, I believe they're 25 up to I'm not sure what the all 175 and that
175 for the all-inclusive VIP.
Hell yeah. That includes some meet and greet with the bands and a few other things. So definitely get in on that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of bands are donating swag. There's raffles going on where you can win some
swag.
A lot of great swag. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll also take this opportunity to talk about another segment that's going to be coming on. If you've been watching any of the old shows, we've had our friends from Arcane and Necronomicus coming on, and it's always a wild one when he's on.
Indeed.
I look forward to when those guys come on. You don't know which members from the band are going to be on. There's, I believe, 4 members currently in the band, and you don't know who's coming on. You don't know what he's going to do, but it's always fun and always a little zany.
Right.
So if you're watching for an ongoing segment from Arcane and Necronomicus, he'll be coming on. And again, Kimmy's going to be coming on with the Mama's Maiden Corner, accenting some of the bands that she's working with. We're looking forward to that.
Very cool.
Yes. Chris will be back with us in a moment, but we're going to be listening to a few more from Joe Booe here.
Awesome. About 3 months ago, I think it was 3 months ago, Joe Booe and the Dog released our second album. So another 12-song album. And in the process, I don't know if other musicians have run into this. So often it's difficult to gauge how the streaming services are going to sound when you have your music mastered. So sometimes it's hit or miss. So in the process of releasing this album, we had a little more difficulty with nailing it on the head, with getting how our sound should be for Spotify and for Pandora and YouTube. So I went back and remastered half of the album. So we're releasing a single at a time, the ones that were remastered. So I've already we released Fallen Angel, which was the very first single, and then we released Queen of the Road. So we've got another that's going to be released in a few weeks. Find My Way Back Home. This time will be re-released, and a couple others. So
what was the second one you mentioned there, Joe? Queen of the what?
Queen of the Road. Queen of the Road.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Yeah. So kind of it's a car song, which is pretty badass.
Right on. Hell yeah.
Probably the best. Gotta love it. Everybody loves a fast car, man. Probably the best song off the first album, though, was Wild Eyes. And that one is the gratuitous hot chick video. So I always love that one. Song it's a very cool song on top of it.
Right on, man. Right on.
That Sea-Dog and I wrote about a little over 30 years ago. But like so much of what all of us do, good music is relatively timeless. So it's a good song. But the video really takes it over the top.
Excellent. What would we be good to hear next from you, Joe? We'll play. How
about Wild Eyes?
All righty.
Joe Booe and the Dog, Wild Eyes.
Okay.
Excellent. And again, we talked it up a little bit, but we'll talk it up a little bit more. Go check out that Punk in the Corn. Definitely the show to go to. And like Joe was saying, this is going to be probably the first time that it's exploded in this way. Everybody has been pushing the community for a couple of years now, since it exploded a couple of years ago. And I think everybody is probably had in the back of their head, how can we get this to gel even more? And the live show is the way to go. And Tim didn't just make a bar gig out of it. He made a whole festival, and he had a lot of opposition, I believe, in the early stages of this. People telling him he couldn't and wouldn't, and just wouldn't work for whatever reason. And in true punk form, he said, "Fuck you, yes it will."
Right. So, anybody who knows Tim knows he's not taking no for an answer.
No, he's not. And over the top, the show will be the same with his band and his projects.
Yeah.
So go
The
check
beauty of
it
this
out.
whole thing is, this community is huge and it's self-supporting. And there's probably at least 10,000 active bands in this community that, most of us interact with to some degree regularly. So 10,000 strong, we're kind of the silent majority. And I know so many people are tired of hearing the same programmed music on FM radio and satellite radio. And it's all the same shit that you hear every hour, every 2 hours. I know, and I can attest to Chris and I have talked about this. We don't even listen to mainstream music anymore. All I listen to is this community. That's all I ever listen to. I look back at my streaming numbers for Spotify. I showed it to somebody. It was like 60,000 minutes of music that I listened to last year. And it's all us. So that's all I'm listening to. So it's us, man. Get on Facebook, follow Punk in the Corn on Facebook, buy your tickets, support the bands that are going to be there, show up. And let's show the industry and show the world that this is the real deal. The underground is not just in the underground. It's everywhere.
Well said, Joe. Hell yeah. There is a website as well.
Yeah.
punkinthecorn.com. So go check it out.
I do have to admit, I do listen to some mainstream music, but that's when I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. Right. It's not inspirational at all. It's all programmatic. It's formulaic. If I want to hear something cool, I'm listening to you guys. I'm listening to everybody else, man. All the guys in this community.
Yeah.
Everybody
We all
has their
have
own sound.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
inspiring, man.
Right on. Dukester, how we doing on that?
You got that one ready to go.
All right, let's do it. Little Wild Eyes.
Infatuation fills my mind. Will it give me vision? Will it make me blind? Succulent seduction is the gift you realize. Wild eyes. You don't know what it means to be alive. You won't know that you lived until you tried. It's a sweat that pours from passion and demise. With wild eyes, wild eyes, wild eyes, wild eyes. Wild that dances in my mind is woven in the fabric of your eyes. A web that still invites me to a lust materialize. Wild eyes. Your body, the color of your hair, the way you move, the way you speak, the perfume that you wear, to your wild eyes. sexual attraction is there and everywhere. It doesn't matter what you do, the only thing that's there is wild eyes. Your wild eyes. Wild eyes. Wild eyes. Wild eyes. Wild eyes.
Excellent.
Thank you. Yeah,
Right
that
on,
was a
right
great
on.
video. That was a great video to do too. Love that one.
Bass being my first love, man. I love all the bass heavy,
Yeah, yeah.
bass forward in your music too, man. Great
Thanks, brother.
tones. Yeah, man.
Yes. Sea Dog's another one of those. He's a very singular, solo artist. So he does a lot of the stuff. We'll usually get drummers to come in and sit in on the tracks, but for the most part, Sea Dog does everything musically. He does the keys, he does the bass, and he does the guitar.
Right on.
Yeah. Yeah. He's, we've known each other. We've been working on music together for 30 plus years. So, and a lot of this stuff, originally it was just, we just did it screwing around, never had any intention. And about 6 years ago, I was listening to a CD that I had of songs that he had sent to me as ideas. I'm like, dude, there's some pretty good stuff here. So I got in touch with him. I said, hey, man, I like this song and this song, this song. Let's start working on these. And then we decided to pull out some of our old songs and redo them. So the first album, we had probably 5 or 6 songs that we wrote 30 years ago on them. And this second album, the same thing, about 5 or 6 songs that were done 25, 25 to 30 years ago. So it's cool to know that, the stuff that you're doing still has, some relevance. And
Yeah.
at least for us old guys.
Standing the test of time. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine we can do maybe one more and call it a night. I do want to thank everybody that's been in the chat. Brian, Mike, Deidre, always Mama. Mama's our kind of unsung other member of the show. She'll always see her in the chat, and she's always around. We appreciate her so very much.
Thanks everybody who showed up. It's great to be here, man.
Hell yeah.
I see Mark Opperman's here now.
Yep. Thank you, Mark, also.
Hey, Mark.
And Justin, everybody that made it. We appreciate it. Thanks everybody for tuning in for the rerun of this that you're watching right now, and appreciate you watching it.
Right
Listen to the great music, pass it along. So how can
to be here, man.
And so much. We appreciate you, Joe. Thank you for coming in,
Thanks,
man.
Jeff.
What would be a great one to end our show with tonight?
Why don't we do Call of Vikings? I think that one visually is a really awesome song. It's a great closer, man.
Fuck yeah, man. I
Badass
got a lot of
tune. Yeah, Viking.
I got a lot of Viking lore through my stuff,
Viking.
man. I love it. Always love it.
Right on.
Kimmy and I have been catching up on the original season of Vikings. I don't know if anybody ever watches that. But
Oh, I loved it. I loved it, man.
great stuff, man. Great stuff.
Yeah. It was so cool to see Ragnar transform from like this pretty boy, tough guy to a loon, man.
Yeah, and then watching his sons, grow up as well. Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Yeah, rape, pillage, and plunder, man.
Fucking A. Skull, Joe. Skull, Chris.
Yeah. Skull.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so this one I was very surprised. I don't know how I know Kimmy does a lot of she does a lot of the artwork for her music videos. I do a lot of stuff with stock video. So the idea of finding something that was relative to the storyline of the song, I thought was going to be an impossibility. I'm like, fuck, man, I can't, you can't steal video footage from like TV shows or from movies and stuff. So I was like, and I belong to a stock video website. So I get a lot of my stuff from the stock video website, and just happened to be fortunate in that I found a ton of relevant material for Call of Vikings. So it's a badass video.
Hell yeah. Right on, man.
Are we ready for it?
We are
Yeah,
ready.
let's go ahead and sail.
We praise the god of war and thunder. In dragon ships we raid and plunder. With iron, hook and steel, bound by honor, fate and glory. In hallowed halls they'll sing our story of conquering on no fields. Distant shores, battles and wars, silent cries with a rage in their eyes. Conquering hordes, long ships of war, they pillage and fight in the dark of the night. Listen to the wind, you hear the call of Vikings in the air. Like thunder in the sky, sword on shield, blood on steel, arrows fly, and they carry to vow when they die. Village bells will toll their warning. All are dead or enslaved by morning. By axes, sword and spear, swarms of blood-lost I surrender. Our warriors march to reach the end of the spell that brought me here. Torches blaze, villages raise, scaling walls of destiny calls. Crash of war, spoils of war, in the weeds every warrior who falls. Listen to the wind, you hear the call of Vikings in the air. Like thunder in the sky, sword on shield, blood on steel, arrows fly, and they carry to vow when they die. On the wind you can hear the whisper. It's a calling to arms. It's a calling of war. We sail before the icy waves of winter, where the green fields wait. It's a calling of fate and of coming home evermore.
Hell yeah, Joe.
Vikings, baby.
Yeah, man. Loved it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah. And thanks for coming on tonight. Excellent
Dude.
music all over the place, man.
Thank you so much for having me on,
Appreciate
guys. It's really been a pleasure.
thank
Love all the
you.
bands I'm working with, and it's always a great opportunity to get them out in front of people. So thank you for having me.
Right on. I got to thank both of you guys, Dukester and Joe. I'm currently got the word out now that I'm looking for a drummer for our live appearance up at Punk in the Corn. And
Right.
both of these guys have done their part to help me find one. So if anybody out there knows of a good drummer, if there's any good drummers listening that likes our stuff in superposition, give me a call, get a hold of us, and we'll check it out. Within seconds, we actually had some bites last night after Chris put something up 2 nights ago, rather. But
Cool.
appreciated, and we're going to be getting someone soon. So fuck yeah on that.
I mean, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, man. Anybody if you like John's stuff, you gotta jump on this because this is such a great place to be playing. It's going to be a huge crowd, and it's going to be a great chance for you to like interact.
Yeah,
with
we're
the entire
talking
community.
thousands,
Hopefully 10 to 20,000 people.
10 to 25,000 is what we're looking at. Yeah, so definitely do that. Get a hold of us, and I'll be looking forward to that. We want to thank Joe again for coming on.
Thanks
If
for
there's
having
any
me.
other shout outs you'd like to do, Joe, you feel free to at this point. You got any shouts you want to do to anybody?
Absolutely. I want to thank all my guys, all the guys from Rain of Fire. I want to thank Tom McElman from Boo McElman and Shadow Band. I want to thank Randy Nitch, who is just a killer fucking dude from Voodoo Mirage. I want to thank Justin from Storm Kingdom, Steve Klatt, Sea Dog from Joe Booe and the Dog, Mike from Mechanic A, and I'm hoping he and I get a chance to work on another song. Steven Anderson from Burles Band. He and I are planning on working on a blues song together. I want to thank the Fods. We just put out a song, which is great. Justin the Liberty from Plains Desperate Symphony. Love all you guys, man. It's been such a pleasure to work with all of you, and I really look forward to working on more music in the future, and absolutely love this community. So thank you all. Really appreciate everybody who's been involved in everything I'm doing.
Excellent. As always, I'm giving a shout out to Mama Kimmy, Mama's Maiden Studio. Give her a shout if you need any good videos, good art, etc. Chris?
I'm going to give a shout out to my wife, Sam, because she's the strong supporter and definitely stands behind me in doing all these things for the indie community.
Indeed.
Yes,
I was
we
gonna
wouldn't
give a
be
shout out
anywhere
to-
without the women behind us.
Right.
Not at all. I was going to give a shout out to Brian Mullen for being my co-host on my Wednesday show and my Saturday country show, and then you, John, for hosting this, and then the Tuesday night show.
Fuck yeah. Thank you, Chris. You too, man. Hell yeah.
One last shout out to the guys from Oki, Akbar, and Tony. Can't wait for this stuff to come out, brothers.
Yeah, look forward to hearing all that.
As soon as
Yeah.
it's out, I'm going to get it played.
Yeah, absolutely. It's getting sent right to you, Chris.
Awesome.
Right on. Everybody take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. Be safe in all this cold ass weather that's coming across the country. And we'll see you next Thursday. Thanks for coming to Lion Den Roars.
Thanks for coming out, guys.
Good to have
Thank
you,
you,
Joe.
everyone.
Thanks, guys. Guys, that was awesome, man.